Hello, I will be reading to you about the new man that I want to become and am becoming, and the one thing that I'm changing is that I used to be a guy that smiled and joked around and played like a little kid all day long, and that really got the spouse angry because I don't worry about anything. The Bible says don't worry about things like that because everyone does that. Everybody worries. So I'm supposed to trust in God to provide everything for me. And He has given me the gifts that I have. One of which is to not worry about anything. Another gift I have is to read and make videos and read books. Another gift I have is to actually think of things that nobody else thinks about. Very few people. Some of the authors obviously are way greater than I am because the book I'm reading right now is called The Power of Concentration by Dumont. And in it, he says, all successful people must be able to concentrate. Can you imagine a carpenter that is hammering away and he doesn't concentrate? He will smack his thumb. So, everyone, if you want to be good at something, you have to concentrate on that thing. Most of the time, before reading this book, when anyone spoke to me, I used to look at them and listen to them. However, many times I am a very patient person. However, I was very impatient when they took too long to tell me something. And with this spouse, she's argumentative. So I would just say, what do you want me to do? And she used to go a roundabout and say the grass is tall, it's raining, but it's the grass is tall. And I would say, what do you want me to do? And then now she's blunt. She says, I want you to cut the grass. But she's blunt because I asked her right off the bat, what do you want me to do? So I wrote these on my notebook on the last page. And it says, I am strong. I am courageous. I do what I say I will do. That's called congruence. Congruence. Tony Robbins taught me that. Incongruence is when you say, with Miss Sarah Palin, governor, was she a governor or a senator? I don't know. Anyway, are you ready to be president? And in that question, even though her words were yes, her head went yes. So her head turned left and right, or her mouth turned left and right, which means that she is not ready to be president. In body language, that's for people that analyze other people. Okay? So I do what I say I will do, which most of the time means I am a what that one person said about President Clinton, draft dodging. Well, I am work dodging. I mean, if there's work to be done, I dodge it. I'm an expert at dodging work. However, most of the times because they don't want to do the work the way I want to do it. when I worked in the drywall construction cleanup, there were balconies there with no railings, and the big boss said you have to have a rope or something to tie yourself up for safety reasons. But of course, I was just told to do that job, and nobody else would, none of the other workers would wear harnesses. So I behaved in such a way that I got fired, because that job was dangerous and I was very careful. I didn't want to fall off. It was second floor. What? Not really going to die. You're just going to hurt yourself if you fall off. Second, third, fourth floor. All right. I will not be influenced to do what I think is wrong. Ooh. This is upon reflecting. I saw the movie with David Carradine where he walks into a bar in Kung Fu, the Kung Fu, the original series, right? And he walks into a bar and he asks for a glass of water, and then someone's laughing and they said, "No, you must drink alcohol." And he says no, so the guy wants to fight him, and David Carradine wins, right? He wins the fight. But of course, he remembers a time when he was younger and his teacher told him, in other words, to thyself be true. If you don't want to drink the beer, don't drink it, right? Even if you have 1,000 people telling you to drink it, don't drink it. If you have 1,000 doctors telling you, take the pills, and you don't believe you need the pills to control your emotions because you haven't exploded at anyone. Even when I was around my kids, I told them, go to the living room, and then I kicked the door 3 times. And it wasn't a savage kick. That's why I took 3 of them. I couldn't break through cardboard. There was a piece of wood behind that. When I hit the car with the bat, there was nobody home. I was not going savage at it. I said, okay, I'm going to put one here, I'm going to put one there. I was being artistic. And destroying your own car, not by fire now, is not illegal. All right? So I was not arrested. I haven't been arrested. I was Baker acted. However, this time when if it ever happens in the future, no, I will not comply with doctors or nurses that say, if you don't take the pills, we're going to inject them to you. I will not comply with that. They did mention that I would have to go to court, but then that there wouldn't be any court until a week later, Thursday, and I didn't want to be in there. So I took the pills because I missed my son. At that time, I only missed my son and my dog. Because my daughter, she spends her time on the internet in her room. And if I tell her anything like, let's throw out the garbage or something, she says no. Then the mother says, the spouse, right? She says, no, don't tell her to throw out the garbage. And then I say, you want to go to the park? No, I don't want to go. So my life was horrible with this family because I was smiling. I was always trying to connect with them and say, come, be around me. Come, let us go. Learn self-defense. Learn, read this book that I read that was very interesting. They don't want to hear it. They're into their Dungeons and, well, not Dungeons and Dragons, but they're into dragons and Merlin and magic spells and the movies that they watched, the Harry Potter before that. What was it? They're into whatever the world is into right now. But even when I see Little Wayne spreading his arms in his video with Mars, even though I see him, I point out things to the little kids and I say, look, he's doing the Jesus posture when Jesus spreads his arms to be crucified. Now, the kids, they don't see the subliminals because they're not old like I am. I've seen many artists do weird things just to get attention. I do things just to get attention. I used to crave attention. That's why I wanted to be a teacher. All 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me. But what I really want is all of those kids to have the confidence to achieve something in life. Yes. And not to fail at 1,000 things like I did. All right, so I am not timid. I am courageous. Courage is a word that I had not used in years. I had heard people use it, the red badge of courage. I think Mr. Kennedy wrote that. I'm not sure who wrote it. But courage. Another old man in Chicago told me about courage. I have courage. I have strength. I have enthusiasm. I have effort. All of these weird sounding poetry or incantations or values or beliefs, but you must have them. You must have something. At Mile High Karate, they taught my son, I only fight to protect my life and the life of others. I achieve my fullest potential in developing honesty, integrity, indomitable spirit, strength, courage, willpower, enthusiasm. And I add more words to this monthly, or I detract, I skip some. The point is, you must have your own mantra. Who are you? Go do the exercise by the guy on YouTube on TED Talks that said, discover your life purpose in 5 minutes. I did that exercise. Let's see if I remember the 5 questions. Who are you? I am his champion. God is the king. Jesus is the prince. God is the king. And I am his champion. Here on earth, right now, in this little tiny room, I am his champion. Right there where you are watching me, you are his champion. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing with your life? All those dreams and desires that you have, God put them there. There is no coincidence that he gave you this particular mother. He put you in this particular family. You had that childhood which you had. If it was painful, it's so that you would be able to feel the pain other people are going through and help them. We are all here on earth, we're supposed to be helping each other. And you know, you should know, you are valuable. You are very valuable. All right, so your brother or your sister and your mother, or gee, all your relatives make more money than you do. God gave them that talent. No, you're not a pimp. All right, so you live off your mother, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your father-in-law. You live off every single person that knows you. All right, you live off of them in some way. All right, but that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it, While the spouse is working, I do the babysitting. All right? And no, I don't let them watch movie after hour after hour. Right now that their grandpa is meeting them for, well, he's meeting one of them for the second time, but what? He met the oldest child for a couple of hours 2 years ago. And now he's meeting the youngest child, my child, for the first time this week. You know? So, oh, and I like this old man. I didn't know I would like him. I do. He eats fish the same way I do. Yeah, steamed, not fried. Maybe it's for different reasons. He says that fried is too hard on his teeth or something. But for me, that it's too hard on his teeth and he has to put a gallon of water on the fish or something to. He was exaggerating. He said you have to add this and you have to add that just to be able to swallow the fish. But if it's steamed or, well, I don't know the other word, but it's made with water, then you can eat the fish without any problems. The guy eats fish like I do. How many father-in-laws do that? He tells jokes and laughs at my jokes. For instance, did you know that in Honduras, the United Fruit Company is the one, because they always talk about the company. Well, there was only one job, all right? And you worked either cutting down the bananas, or in the railroad, or in the box factory, or in the refrigerator section, the frozen fridge, which was a factory where they made ice. Or you worked with paying people, and they said that they had to give you a piece of paper with a couple of like coupons, because if they gave you money, you wouldn't be able to walk home with it. It was real heavy stuff, and that with $5, five Honduran limps or currency, lempiras, you could buy shoes, pants, a shirt that would go up to here, and it had 3 little holes in the back, so that I imagine so that air would come in. I don't know. And you could buy a sombrero, and you could buy a lija, which is the tool you use to sharpen a machete. And he mentioned something that I was cracking up. He said there used to be a guy hired by the company, and his job duty would be what in modern times we call an alarm clock. He used to go, he had a list of which house to go to, and he would knock on that door to wake up each employee. I don't know if he had to do it to 10 employees or 20 employees, but these were special employees, right? I'm not sure if they're the ones that, because he talked, and he said that there was a crew of 8, and now it's done by machine, but the machine picks up the actual line and puts in a line, and those nails were 7 inches big or 6 inches long and thick, and that all the men had to work in 1, 2, 3, left, all of them together, right? So he mentioned how there was this one guy that I nicknamed him the alarm clock. He would go knock on your door to make sure you got to work. He would be knocking at your door at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, depending. So that was just so interesting. All right, so I will not be influenced to do what I think is wrong. If your body says don't take the pills, don't take them. Trust your body. Trust your conscience. The Mormons just left. they said, "Are you going to the church tomorrow? What did you think about the church last week?" I told them I thought it was boring, and my son thought it was boring. And my son is not going back because he doesn't want to go back because it was boring. And I don't want to go without my son because otherwise my life is boring. Well, I also don't want him here just playing video games, while I'm at church. And then they asked a good question. 3 hours for God on a weekly basis is too much to ask? And I'll say, no, it isn't. However, I'll give it to God in a different manner. I mean, all I do really, which is my talent, I read books. And some of them I make videos of, like the Mormon book I'm reading right now, the Book of Mormon. I have another playlist, if you look around, in Spanish about the Book of Mormon. I'm actually reading it for other people. All right, I am not timid, I am courageous. I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me. Isn't that beautiful? Now this is the type of religion I want to be able to do. I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me. That's a religion worth doing something. I mean, maybe other religions have other beautiful sayings. I don't know. Like I think the Buddhists have the word karma, and I like it. It's one word that describes a whole sentence in the Christian faith, which is sowing and reaping. Well, that's 2 words, but one word in the Buddhist. I think it's the Buddhist. I will not be swayed. In the Christians, it says something like, I will stand alone as if 10,000. You see, if you're the leader, this is what the book says, the power of concentration. If you're the leader, it doesn't matter if it's in business or if it's in the battlefield, you are the leader. Come here, little kitty. Come here, my little. Come here, my doggy. You're such a cute doggy. Can you welcome the kitty for me? Get the kitty to come over here. Hello, my lady. I love you. Get yourself a dog. That's what Tony Robbins says. They are so loving. They are so generous. Look how cute this dog comes to visit me. You're such a great lady. Yes. I don't let her kiss me in the mouth. Most of the time. She got me once, I think a couple of days ago. But that's only because I was taking a picture with the camera here that you're watching me with. And she turned her head around and kissed me. I love you, my lady. Oh, I got her a pet. She's got a little kitten. Oh, you're so cute. She's such a beautiful dog. You know, very few dogs must be like this. There's no way I remember my 2 Dobermans in Chicago, my relatives and mine. They were a father and son Dobermans. They were boys. They never behaved like this. I mean, this one's melting like butter. You're such a cute dog. I love you. And I'm just like with the children, I'm just like this. I'm not going to tell her to leave until she decides to leave. So we could be here for a while with this video. I'm supposed to... There. My mother is finally opening the door, I think, for... Oh, she doesn't have the key. She's trying to get the She's trying to get the cat inside, but she doesn't have the key to open the door. Ooh. And the kitten wants to get in. All right. So what else did I write? I will not be swayed. I will not be led to sin. I will not follow the evildoers. Be they whoever they are. Even if it's my mother, I will not do what my mother says. I will do my own thing if what my mother tells me to do is wrong. You understand? Now that I'm a grown up, I will only follow God. God is love. There's a beautiful verse somewhere that says, if your religion has this but not love, then it is not true. All right, so I've done it. Enjoy your life. You see, the dog lasted what, 10 minutes, 5 minutes? Now she's gone back. She's happy. All right, enjoy your life. Be better than I am. Thank you.